presented by Sharvette Mitchell. Find out more about her at sharvettemitchell.com and connect with Sharvette on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Grab a pen, notebook, or tablet and get ready. Here is Sharvette.
I'm excited to be here. Listen, if you are a business owner, you are an entrepreneur, you offer a product or a service, guess what? You are a salesperson. You might not have known it, you might not have thought about it that way, but you are a salesperson. And so what happens? How do you make sales? Well, a part of that is related to the messaging that you use when you're on social media, when you're sending emails, when you're interacting with potential customers, and certainly all about sales. And so today we're going to talk about how to leverage AI, how to use AI to help you with your messaging and with your sales. And we're going to talk about 5 tips. And again, I am Sharvette Mitchell. I'm the CEO of Mitchell Productions. And Mitchell Productions is a marketing and professional development firm based out of Richmond, Virginia. And we work with women entrepreneurs and a few men get sprinkled in there, all around telling the story of their business through marketing, visibility, and branding. And so shout out to my marketing tips with Sharvette Facebook community. Listen, I've got my phone up over here, so I will be able to see everything that is going on. Shout out to you all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Listen, we will not be long. We're going to be out your hair in just less than 30 minutes. So let's go ahead and jump on in. And I invite you to sound off in the chat and to let me know your thoughts as we have this conversation today around using AI for messaging and sales. Thank you. I see hearts coming up already. So as we think about messaging, what are the words, what are the things that we are saying as we are describing our services and our products? That's messaging, right? And then certainly the sales are all a part of that. So you can decide which AI tool, if you are good with ChatGPT, if you are good with Claude, whichever one you get to pick. You get to decide. I'm not going to have that debate today, whether which one is good, which one is not good and all of that. You get to decide. But what I would say, think about whichever one that you leverage as we go through this conversation around using AI for your messaging and for your sales. All right, great. Hey, girl. Hey, Dana. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Peggy, we see you. Good evening. Hey. All right, so let's jump right on in. So let me just say, here's my assumption in this conversation that we are having today. My assumption is that you are clear, or you have already identified your ideal client. You have already identified your target audience. Yeah, hey, Cookie, I see you coming in. You've already identified who your product or service is for. Now, I'm assuming that's my assumption. That's my assumption that I'm making, that you have already identified that. If you haven't, I would say do some work in that space first, because it's a little hard to create messaging for someone who you don't know who it's going to. All right. And there might be a sting and there might be an ouch, right? So it's a little bit hard to create messaging if you don't actually know who you're talking to. So I'm going to make that assumption that you are at least fairly clear on who your ideal client is, who is the person that you're best suited to work with. And so then now we can move on into our tips. So tip number 1, as we talk about using AI to support your messaging and your sales. Number 1, a really, really great way to have AI work for you is to ask it to clarify your offer. Ask it to clarify your services, to clarify your product. And the way that I like to leverage it, I like to actually talk into your AI tool, because I feel like you have more of a free flow versus you having to like type it out. So I would encourage you to use the audio feature if you're going to use ChatGPT, if you're using Claude, and talk into the actual platform and describe in your own words your services and your products. And then ask ChatGPT or Claude to give you a cleaner or sharper explanation. So you just talk it out as far as what you offer, what you have as a service, and then ask ChatGPT to here, I'm telling you my services. You give me a response back of what's cleaner and what is a sharper explanation. Here's why that's important. Confused people do not buy. Yeah, that might be a sting. Confused people do not buy. So, if perhaps in how you are describing your actual service or product is confusing for some of the audience, that could be deterring your sales. So, AI is really, really great. With this first number one tip here is to use it to clarify what you are actually offering. Put it in and get a cleaner, crisper explanation. All right, so let's move on. Let's move on to number two. Hey, we see you over there on YouTube as well. We snuck in and simulcasted there. So number two, the second thing and the second way that I encourage you to use AI for your messaging and for sales is ask it to analyze. This is really a great approach. Ask it to analyze 2 or 3 of either your social media posts, or emails that you have written, or captions to reels. I'm talking about past content, so things that are already out in the world. Copy it into your AI tool of choice and ask it to analyze it for you and give you some tips on how it can be refined, or perhaps how it could come across better, the messaging of it. And I'm assuming, again, the other assumption I'm making here is that your AI tool, you've talked to it enough that it's familiar with your particular ideal client. So it should be giving you responses based off of your ideal client and what they would think about those posts and how they are going to be responding. So this is number 2 as we talk about leveraging AI to help you with your messaging, which is going to help you with your sales. Ask it to look at what you've already posted and analyze it. And listen, and you can tell it, you listen, like, don't worry about hurting my feelings. Give me the truth. Give me the truth. Give it permission, because AI is most AI is scheduled or programmed, let me say it that way, to be a friendly assistant. So you want to give it permission for that. Hey, Peggy. Yep, I see that. Wow, awesome. So that is the second tip in this kind of conversation. We're gonna keep it moving here, because I know some of y'all got Bible study. It's Wednesday night. I know some of y'all got Bible study at 7:30, at 7 o'clock. Here's the third thing that you can do to leverage AI to help you with your messaging and your sales. Ask it to refine your CTA. Now, what is a CTA? A CTA is a call to action. And thank you for those that I know are listening to this or watching this later on in the replay. Just come back in the comments and just type replay for me. Thank you for that. So ask it to refine your call to action. So what is a call to action? Just to make sure we're level set and everyone is familiar with what we mean. A call to action is a step that you are telling potential customers to make. It is the asking for the sale, or the next step that'll get them in the process for the sale. So, like, I have an example here. You might say, I'm offering XYZ, DM me. And so that DM me is inviting them into an inbox, and then your sales journey and conversation is going to continue from there. However, there are some other ways that AI can have you say your call to actions and give you other things to say that you don't, so you won't feel like you're saying the same thing all of the time. And based off of your AI knowing about your ideal client, it can then give you recommendations around, well, here's another way to say how to take the next step. And again, some of you have products. So the next step is, hey, the link, I need you to click on the link and buy XYZ product. But for a lot of you that are watching and listening, you are service-based. And so oftentimes your sales conversation, your customer journey is going to start with a consultation or some type of discovery call or something of that nature. And so you have to tell the audience to where to go to do that. And so AI is really good around refining your call to actions and giving you other things that you can say that will hopefully appeal to your ideal client. And again, you won't be thinking about the same same things or saying the same things all of the time. And for some people, they forget. They put out all of this great content. They send out emails, and not one time do they actually have a call to action, say, hey, here's the next thing that I want you to do. And so by putting that in and asking AI about your call to actions, that's going to put it on their radar. And so as it's popping out, if you're working in your AI tool and popping out content and things of that nature, is going to remember to include call to actions in your content. All right, so let's keep it moving. That was number 3 there. That was number 3. And again, if you're just popping on in, we're talking about using AI for messaging and sales. And I am Sharvette Mitchell, the CEO of Mitchell Productions, also the host of Marketing Tips with Sharvette. And we are so glad that you are listening in and joining us and focused on your marketing. Listen, if you like conversations like this, we will have more at my 10th annual summit that is coming up November 13th and 14th here in Richmond, Virginia. There is a comment pinned in this actual video content so that you have information about that. Platformbuildersummit.com. We want to see you in the building. FYI, early bird rates in June 1st, and we do have payment plans available. So we're talking about leveraging AI for messaging and sales, because the messaging and the content and what you say, that is impacting and can impact your sales. So let's go on to the 4th tip, which is really, really juicy. So the 4th thing that you can tell AI, and I see the hearts coming up. The 4th thing that you can tell AI or ask AI is to drop a customer testimonial. It could be a Google review. It could be a product review. Take that review testimonial and drop it into AI, and then ask AI to make it a post or an email. All right. So ask AI to take this review. And guess what? The review, again, could have been on Google. Some of you have review sections on your websites. Some people have where they just ask clients for their reviews and testimonials. Some of you might just have people that have commented on social or commented somewhere wherever you are and have left good things and said good things about your services and your products. Take that, screenshot it, take a picture of it, drop it into your AI tool, and ask your AI tool to make a post or an email. Here's why that is important. Let me tell you why that is important. Did you know that 93% of consumers say that reviews influence their buying decision? That's from SQ Magazine. 93% of people said, I'm going to pay attention to, and it is an influence if I see a review, a testimonial based off of a product or service. That's a big amount. And it went on to say, the survey went on to say that 88% of consumers trust reviews as much as a personal recommendation. Y'all, that's like saying, I don't even know this person that left the testimonial, but I'm going to take it as if it came from a friend. 88% of consumers trust reviews, testimonials, good things said about products and services, or bad, as much as a personal recommendation. Again, that's from SQ Magazine. So that's why we have tip number 4 that's going to help you with your messaging and help you with your sales. Because here's the thing. We can say we're great all day long, right? We could say we're amazing all day long, but there's something different and something special when that message is coming from a client or coming from a past customer. Other people see that and put a lot of weight into it. And guess what? They're what they had to say for their review or their testimonial doesn't have to be eloquent. It could have misspelled words and all of that. It doesn't matter. Just knowing that somebody else has endorsed what you have and what you're offering is a huge sales strategy for you. And you should be leveraging that and showcasing that repeatedly in your content. And that could be, again, email content, that could be social media content, all of the things. So let me go to the 5th and final thing that we have here. So our 5th and final tip is around using emails to write follow-up using AI, excuse me, to write follow-up emails and messages. All right, all right. So a lot of people say, man, I mess up at the follow-up. Like I might talk to someone, we had a great conversation, and then maybe I was supposed to follow with them. Maybe they were on the fence. Maybe, they weren't sure. And for whatever reason, I just dropped the ball with follow up. Is that anybody listening? Anybody watching? As you're listening or watching, you can put a one in the chat. You can put a one in the comment if you're saying, hey, with my sales and things of that nature, I dropped the ball with follow up. Or there may be a pocket of you saying, I don't know what to say, like in a follow up. Do I just say, hey, I'm checking in? Do I just like, what am I saying? Which is related to your messaging when I'm trying to close a sale, close a deal, if you will, and this is a part of the follow up. So AI is very good at writing some follow-up messages for you. So you could even talk into or type into your AI tool and give them just like a brief recap of what you discussed with the customer or where they left off at. And AI can write the follow-up, and it'll write it in a sales type of language. Or you can even specifically say, hey, write like a sales copywriter. So that's a little trick I just snuck in on you. Write like a sales copywriter and give me a follow-up email or follow-up message that I can send out to this customer. That is going to help you with sales, and it also is, definitely something that's helping you with your messaging. And actually, you could screenshot this if you want. Write a friendly follow-up message to someone who showed interest but didn't respond. All right, so that's like literally the prompt that you can put in any of your AI tools there. All right, so this was quick and easy getting us started. I'm going to be back tomorrow, part 2 tomorrow, for our April training that we have here. Shout out to those again, marketing tips with Sharvette. We're so glad you're in our Facebook community. If you are a woman in business or a woman entrepreneur and you are not in our Facebook community, we invite you to join us over there on Facebook. Literally, it's just marketing tips with Sharvette. Marketing tips with Sharvette is one of the easiest things to do, to join us over there. And that is the recap. All right, we are right under 18 minutes, and I want it to be under 20 minutes. Again, I'll be back tomorrow. And if you like this type of conversation and you're like, hey, this is the type of thing I need to be around, then you absolutely need to be at the Platform Builder Summit, which is my 10th annual conference. It's happening here in Richmond, Virginia, November 13th, November 14th, 2026. And it's going to be off the chain, y'all. I'm telling you what, it's an all VIP event. So you can go to platformbuildersummit.com, platformbuildersummit.com. And you should see a pinned comment in the video that you're watching that has the link to take you straight there. We are in early bird. And so the Platform Builder Summit is all really around marketing, branding, business development. But I've got to tell you, I'm fresh off of our retreat that we host. We host a private retreat for our Platform Builder clients. And the Platform Builder program is a year-long program where we work with entrepreneurs and business owners, primarily that offer professional services. And really the 6-part framework that we have, this trademark framework, where we walk them through really building their visibility and their brand and all of that. And so anyway, we just came fresh off of having our in-person retreat this past weekend. And so I've got to just remind you and just say, yes, we are in these social media streets, and I am a social media girl. Thank you, Peggy. She said, I love it. Thanks, marketing guru. Hey, Mom, I see you in the comments. But there is nothing like getting in the room and being in person and connecting with other women that are going in the same direction. You cannot beat it. You cannot duplicate it. You have to get in the room. So we hope to see you in November. And again, early bird ends June 1st, and we have payment options and full pay options and all the things. All right. I'm going to see you all later. Bye. Thanks for being an amazing, amazing guest. Hey, Dawn, thank you so much for your time and for the 5 tips. We appreciate it. All right. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.